The Apple ruling confirms that the Irish government colluded systematically over more than a decade with the efforts of Apple to avoid tax and deprive the people of this country, when they were on their knees, being crucified with austerity, of €14 billion. At the same time, it's worth remembering, 2013, we were also starting the process of getting rid of the biggest property portfolio in the world via NAMA and selling it off at fire price sales to vulture funds and international investors, rather than using it for social and affordable housing. Had we not done that, we wouldn't have the housing crisis we are now facing. We wouldn't have 14,500 people homeless. We wouldn't have more than 100,000 families on housing lists. We wouldn't have house prices that are unaffordable for the vast majority of workers. Fine Gael, Fianna Fáil and others combined to stand with tax-avoiding, staggeringly wealthy corporations like Apple and betrayed the people of this country when they were being crucified. And the consequences we are still living with and will be living with for decades, as the central bank have now confirmed. Decades of a housing crisis we are still facing. Is that an overstatement of the level of collusion? I thought I'd go back to the discussion back in 2013 in the Finance Committee, of which I was a member of. The 3rd of July, a Wednesday, in the Finance Committee, I put forward a motion asking that Apple, Google and Facebook would be brought in to be questioned, just to be questioned, about what had emerged in the United States with the allegations of aggressive tax avoidance using Ireland and subsidiaries that didn't actually exist to avoid billions worth of tax. Guess who voted against the motion? Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, the Labour Party, and at the time a so-called independent called Stephen Donnelly, now a government minister. The names are interesting when you look at them. Regina Doherty, Stephen Donnelly, Pascal Donoghue, Timmy Dooley, Sean Fleming, Simon Harris, Aideen Hayden, Aidan O'Riordan. All of these people voted against just bringing in Apple to answer questions about the revelations that had emerged about their use of Ireland as a tax haven and the use of subsidiaries that didn't exist. Didn't have tables, didn't have chairs, didn't have staff, through which they were siphoning profits in order to avoid paying tax. And you wouldn't even allow them to be questioned. Never mind then spending millions defending them when 3 years later the EU Commission started legal action against them. And we are paying a very, very bitter price. And I'll just conclude on this. Not only are we paying a bitter price for that collusion and that prioritisation of Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael of corporate interests over the needs of ordinary people for housing, for services, for infrastructure, it's still going on. It's still going on. There's about 200 billion in write-down tax expenditure still going to the same multinationals who have now found new ways to do what they did around the Apple tax to avoid their tax liabilities, and yous are still colluding with it.